talking about things that we may or may not have some care for. Maybe we were a bit unsure about. Not me specifically.
I don't know what you're going to talk about.
I'm going to talk about the thing that I've started. Would you like to hear about the thing that I've started?
Yes, I would.
Okay, I have started the television show Daredevil Born Again.
He's a devil. He's a born. He's again. He's Italian.
Is he? Is he Italian? Is he?
I don't know. You tell me.
Matt Murdock is a very Italian name.
Matt the Murdock. Hey, we're allowed to make that joke.
I'm a blinder.
I don't use my eye.
My costume is red like a spaghetti.
But I wouldn't know. I'm a blinder.
I'm a blinder. I use my staff to walk around. My staff is just a long spaghetti.
Now, Charlie Cox Daredevil, having finished up with his role at the end of season 3 of the Netflix show all those years ago, hasn't shown up at all except for that time he showed up in Spider-Man. But other than that, he hasn't shown up at all except for that time he showed up in She-Hulk. But other than that, he hasn't shown up at all except for that time he showed up in Echo. And now he's back! Having not been seen at all except for all those times we saw him. How do you feel?
For 7 years. I feel good.
You feel good?
Well, I've been seeing posters about the show around the streets. And look, I'm a sucker for a good poster. So I've been seeing some good posters of both him and of Wilson Fisk. I'm like, well, this show has me in just from the marketing.
In New York, they should have done different posters that were like a Wilson Fisk for mayor political
advert. That would be good. Wouldn't that be good?
Yeah.
Out of home marketing.
Yeah. What?
Out of home marketing. That's when you have a poster or something that's out of home. It does what it says on the tin. What do you mean? What is out of home?
Okay. Out of the consumer's home?
Yeah, like outside.
Okay. Oh, outside.
Out of home.
Okay. It's
not that complicated.
I think they should have tailored the New York ones to New York specifically, because that's where the show is. Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing. I have been in Manhattan, and I haven't seen any.
Have you been in Hell's Kitchen?
I haven't really been in Hell's Kitchen, but I'd assume that there's.
Have you been in Gordon Ramsay's Hell's Kitchen?
Because a lot of this show isn't taking place in Hell's Kitchen. He's moved out of Hell's Kitchen. He's moved up in the world.
Somebody's too good for his bloody roots.
Yep.
Where is he? What's happening? Tell me.
He's in Little Italy now.
Should we tell the listeners what Daredevil actually is, rather than my stupid rant?
All right, sure.
He's in Little... That joke just loaded in my brain.
So Daredevil is a TV show about the Marvel character Daredevil. He's a blind man who also does acrobatics and has sticks that he hits people with. There was a Netflix show that came out way back in 2014, 2015, I don't know, a while ago, a long while ago. And it was R-rated. It was the first Marvel MCU property thing that was mature. It had blood and violence. It had a dark, moody tone. It felt a bit
It did have a dark,
Fincher-esque.
moody tude, like an attitude.
It did.
I think you did not misspeak, yeah.
And it had a dark, moody tune as well. Its theme song was very good. That is back here for the theme of Born Again, but with a little bit of remix. So basically, the show ended when Marvel decided it was going to end and they stopped their contract with Netflix or whatever.
Probably after Iron Fist.
And then they decided Daredevil no more. No more Daredevil.
Dead Daredevil.
Daredevil.
Yeah.
Deadful.
Terrible dead Daredevil.
But now people really love Charlie Cox as Daredevil, Matt Murdock. And they also really like Vincent D'Onofrio as the Kingpin. So when they were bringing those characters into the MCU, they're like, well, maybe we actually just keep these characters going. And we finally have a kind of fourth season to Daredevil. And it does feel like a fourth season. It feels different in tone. It feels a bit lighter. It feels a bit more MCU-ish, but it doesn't stray too far from the original show.
It was gonna stray far from the original show before they threw the entire thing out and rewrote it from scratch.
Well, here's the thing. I don't think that they did. They did some reshoots, maybe some pretty extensive reshoots, but the first scene in the first episode is definitely one of those reshoots. One of the things that they changed is this was originally only going to have Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio back. It wasn't going to have any of the supporting cast. But the supporting cast were kind of what made that original Netflix show what it was. The people playing Karen Page and Foggy Nelson, Matt Murdock's two best friends.
The Rosario Dawson erasure that has happened in the last 6 months is fucking ridiculous. This woman cannot catch a break. She's what made that show work. She is the side character that made everything click.
Her as the night nurse.
Yes, the night nurse. Anyway, she's gone, I bet.
They should have a Marvel special presentation, 1 hour special of the night nurse.
I would pay for that. Not because it would be good, but because I want to support Rosario Dawson, who just gets shafted at every single casting choice.
Okay, before you were anti Rosario Dawson as the night nurse, now you're pro it. Like you keep flipping and flopping.
I do keep flipping and flopping. I just think she deserves some better roles, and if this is what she can get, this is what she can get.
Okay.
She's stuck playing Ahsoka in the Dave Filoni Thrawn movie now. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, she's Ahsoka. That's one of the main. That's like the character from the Clone Wars that everyone loves.
Everyone loves her in the Clone Wars, is all I will say.
So, I digress.
No, sorry, I digress. That was entirely on me. Please continue.
The first 2 episodes are out.
Mm-hmm.
This is, I believe, an 8-episode season, and the original Netflix shows, they were 13 episodes, and they kind of tended to drag. So I'm glad that this is going to be moving at a bit of a clip.
Yep.
Reuben, have you seen any of it?
I have not watched any of it with my own eyes, no.
Okay. I watched the whole of the first 2 episodes. Do you care about spoilers?
I'm okay with you spoiling the first 2 episodes.
Okay, great. Before we jump into spoilers, is there anything that you want to know about the show that you think would be cool to chat about?
Is there any law stuff? I always liked the lawyer stuff.
There is some lawyer stuff.
Excellent.
He's doing his classic pro bono. Here's just a person that I found that seems to need some help. I'm going to push everything else aside, all of my other lawyer duties aside to help this one guy.
Is Fisk fine after being literally shot through the head? Is he just fine?
Yeah, he's got stitches. Or no, not even stitches. He's just got a scar. Like, he's fine. He's fine.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. I will say this show... The first episode had me a little worried.
There's
some scenes in it that look iffy. Like it's clearly shot on a soundstage. The background is very blurry. It doesn't feel right. Cool acrobatic stuff that feels very classic Daredevil. We actually have him using his the things that the like the nightstick things, the things that Nightwing has. You know what I'm talking about? No, not
just
nunchucks.
2 sticks.
Just
batons,
2 sticks,
yeah.
But then they have like a winch in them.
Yeah.
So you can throw him at something and he can swing, like he's doing swinging, which is kind of cool. But it looked bad. And then the second episode, the cinematography was a lot more grounded.
Fascinating.
So that was good.
I think this is maybe a question that you will answer in the spoiler section, but maybe to transition us there. It seems like this is a show that was so well loved and is still in recent memory. And if I was writing and directing the new one, I would be really worried about the balance between like honoring the old one without just being a caricature of it. So what is the identity of this show would be my overall question.
I guess the identity of this show it really feels like they are the people making it do have a lot of love for the original. They're doing a bit of a different tone for this, as I mentioned. Actually, they've even talked about, the actors have talked about how their appearances in other stuff, like Kingpin in Hawkeye, how that was a very different, like, kind of comedic tone. But it's still the same character, but it just is that character within that story, kind of like in how comics, if a character appears in a different, I guess how Kingpin would appear in a Hawkeye storyline, how it will be, his character will match the tone of whatever story is being told. Because if you had him being super serious, groveling Vincent D'Onofrio, I'm gonna smash your head in a car door, against Hawkeye's jokiness, it just wouldn't.
Yeah.
It wouldn't work.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah.
it's like trying to put Al Pacino's Scarface in
Frozen.
Yeah. So they are, I guess, as a whole, they're not trying to emulate
Mm-hmm.
the Netflix, but they are trying to stay true to it.
Mm.
If that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Totally.
I mean, it is definitively. It feels like a fourth season, as I said, but it doesn't. It's called Daredevil Born Again for a reason.
Mm.
This is a rebirth of the character, and there's some pretty. There's some important stuff that happens in the first episode that makes you go, okay, this is a reset to a degree. Like, this is a new story, which is actually kind of nice, I'd say. I think that there's been some continuity things with characters in the MCU, or I guess superheroes as a whole,
Mm-hmm.
where we'll see a couple of films
Mm-hmm.
of a character storyline, and then just, okay, let's take Captain America, for example,
Mm-hmm.
where there's a pretty decently consistent tone throughout those 3 films.
Yep.
And then for the 4th one, Captain America, it's the New World, but we're not calling it New World Order because that's
a big conspiracy theory thing.
An anti-Semitic conspiracy theory. We're
Brave
calling
New
it
Bird.
the Great Brave New Bird.
Yep. Big
The
Bird.
bird's got wings.
Big Bird.
Captain America
meets Big Bird.
Captain America v Big Bird. Dawn of the Wings.
Mm-hmm.
That one.
Yeah. Dawn of Hot Wings.
Dawn of Hot Wings. Hey everyone, I'm Anthony Mackie and I'm on Hot Ones. Oh, ow. Oh, this is hot. This is a hot wing that I'm eating. Very metally too, because it's my falcon wings.
Cut to the host and it's Big Bird from Sesame Street.
Yeah. It's like, with that, they seem to want to stay relatively consistent to the Steve Rogers Captain America films. But maybe they should have like done their own thing. You know, you don't actually, I guess it's like Thor did it pretty well with Thor Ragnarok, where they just took a different tone for a different storyline, which is completely okay. Yeah. I've realized recently that I'm a big fan of people fucking around with IP. Mm-hmm. Like, not everything has to be for the same audience that the original thing was made for.
Okay. Yep.
So while I love the Netflix show so much, that's always going to exist.
Yeah.
So if they take a bit of a different, tone for this one, that's also fine. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, really well, actually. I want to know about these things that happen in episode 1, though. I want to know what these resets are. I want you to spoil me big time. Let's
do spoilers for Daredevil episode 1 and 2, but also it's episode 1 and 2. Yeah, you'll be mostly fine. So the reshoots were bringing back Foggy and Karen into the fold, and in the first scene, Foggy Nelson dies.
Damn.
He gets killed by Bullseye,
Shit.
who we, see at the end of, he was in Daredevil season 3. He's teased to be alive and still going to be causing a mark, and so he's causing a mark. He seems to be wanting to kill maybe Matt, maybe Foggy, who knows, but he kills Foggy.
Mm-hmm.
And then Matt and Bullseye end up at the top of, like, the rooftop of that building, the bar that they were all hanging out at, having a great time. Like, they were having too good of a time for a tragedy not to happen.
Yeah, 100%.
It was, like, one of them was going to get killed. And when Matt hears that Foggy's heartbeat stops, he drops Bullseye off the building.
Damn.
To kill him.
Damn.
And the whole thing of Daredevil, like, so much of those 3 seasons was him tackling with, should I kill someone or should I not? Like, when is it worthwhile? What is it? Not even just ethical, but like religiously, because he is a man of God. But in that moment, he's like, no, I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna kill Bullseye. Bullseye ends up surviving.
Yes.
Barely.
Couple of stitches and a scar, right?
Yeah. Exactly. Like all the good Daredevil villains. But he gives up the mask. He's like, I'm done being Daredevil. Like, I need it's getting people killed. I'm just going to trust in the law. Dumb
Rookie
idea.
error.
Absolute rookie error. Which we see some issues with in the next episode, where we have cops beating up on just like a random person, and cops beating up on one of their one of their inmates isn't the right word, but one of the people that they've like arrested, I guess, that the Mad Murdock is defending. There are bad cops in New York. Surprise, surprise. So it's like, well, should he, maybe being a vigilante is worth it if the cops are actually gonna be doing bad shit. So that's kind of interesting. And we also see in that second episode with one of the cops that is beating people up, that they have a Punisher tattoo on their wrist. It looks like a Punisher tattoo, but with like the American flag in the forehead of the skull or something like that. And that's really interesting because the Punisher insignia has been adopted by a lot of police, police and army soldiers and right-wing fanatics, as like taking the law into your own hands, and how that's like a good thing. But in actual fact, like Punisher is a failure of the point of Punisher is it's a failure of the judicial system.
Yeah.
And
just to be clear for listeners, you're talking real world. People do that.
I'm talking real world right now. I'm talking real world. You will see the Punisher skull in so many places for for law enforcement, and that ilk. So it got to the point where a couple of years ago they changed the Punisher insignia in the comics because they're like, actually, we don't want our character associated with this anymore. The insignia that we see in the show, though, is that original Punisher symbol. And we know that John Bernthal, who played the Punisher in the original Daredevil Netflix show and the Punisher TV show on Netflix, is back for this season. So I think it'll be really interesting to see what commentary they make there. Because this show actually doesn't seem to want to stray away from making real-world political statements. Which is
finally the first Marvel project that's actually political?
I think this is the first one that's actually about something. Yeah.
Because fuck me. Civil War wasn't really about anything. Brave new Big Bird creates hot wings. My God, that's really not about very much at all from what I've heard. Even I'm Harrison Ford and these hot wings are making me spicy. So spicy my face is turning red. I hope this doesn't lead to me being any sort of gamma mutated monster. Even Winter Soldier is like going for the most basic, like libertarian versus authoritarian something, and then it's like also it's a secret Nazi cult. So it's like, oh, cool, how political.
Yeah,
I don't know.
No, this
could be it.
This could be it. I mean, we're only 2 episodes in.
Yeah, and I haven't even talked about Falcon and Winter Soldier, but we will leave that rant for another day. Sure.
Yep.
Anyway, we'll have to wait till episode 4 because that's where things tend to fly off the rails with these shows.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I will talk about very quickly the fact that Vincent D'Onofrio as Kingpin, great as always. He's chuckling a little in this one, like he's having some laughs, having a bit of a lark of a time. Also, the woman who plays Vanessa is back.
Yep.
So that's very cool. They're all back and they're all continuing their stuff, and maybe that just makes me happy. Maybe I like seeing the characters that I loved 8 years ago come back.
Okay, I'm going to say some names, and I want you to guess if they're going to show up in this season or not. You ready?
Yeah, hit me.
The Night Nurse.
No.
Fisk's kid.
Does Fisk have a kid?
I don't think so in this universe, but my question is he going to show up?
Fisk doesn't have a kid. I know definitively that Fisk doesn't have a kid because they have a conversation. Matt Murdock and Kingpin are chatting in a cafe, and I think Kingpin asks, "Hey, do you have any kids?" Matt Murdock says, Nah, my best friend died, so I haven't really been dating around, The last person I was seeing was Karen Page, and now she's She kind of hates my guts. So no,
Okay.
I haven't gotten laid in a while, except for that one time that She-Hulk and I hooked up. How about you? And he says, nah, I had this one kid that I was like a mentor to for a while, but that didn't turn out well. I got shot in the face.
Yeah. Speaking of which, Echo.
Yeah.
As in, do you think
I don't think so.
Kate Bishop,
No, I don't think so.
Hawkeye,
I don't think so. No.
Carrie-Anne Moss's character from the old Netflix shows? She was a lawyer who Foggy went to work with for a bit.
Oh. I don't think so.
Keanu Reeves' Knight Rider.
No.
Ghost Rider.
No.
Nightshade.
Are you just... What is this?
Just naming names at this
You're just
point.
chucking,
Just throwing names out at
names
this
together.
point.
Okay, no. Who do you want to? How about let's fix this up. Let me tell you who I do think is going to appear.
Okay, great.
I think that well, obviously John Bernthal as the Punisher is going to appear. We saw Bullseye at the start. I reckon he'll probably be back.
Mm-hmm.
It would be great to see a Kristen Ritter as
I was going to say
Jessica Jones.
Yeah.
Kind of doubtful though.
Yeah.
Or a Luke Cage. That's
Oof,
one
that's
of
a
the great
deep cut.
shows.
Yeah.
I think that there is a chance that Spider-Man appears.
I was thinking this, but I don't think so. Just because of, like, if he's got any TV in his contract,
Mm-hmm.
surely they will save it for some... Well, I guess what are you saving it for if not this?
Yeah. He's already been kind of mentioned.
Oh.
Wilson Fisk, in his sort of mayoral address, said, I hate these vigilantes. I mean, no wonder he hates them. They've tried to kill him, blah, blah, blah. But he also is a crime kingpin. That's your fault. If you know there are vigilantes around, maybe don't do crimes.
Hide your crime better.
And he's like, there's the one that dresses up as a devil. There's the one that dresses up as a tiger. There's the one that dresses up as a spider. I don't like that spider one.
Who's the tiger?
That's White Tiger. That's a character that we're seeing here.
What about She-Hulk? She-Hulk she flies in from the West Coast for a bit.
Is she here? When is she in New York?
Yeah, I don't know. Exactly. She flies in from the West Coast for a bit.
Oh, you reckon she might appear?
Yeah, that's my question, yeah.
No. Too lighthearted.
Too light. Okay, this is taking a middle ground.
I think that the best we could get is Spider-Man would be a great guy.
The best we could get is the biggest comic book character of all time, played by a star who no one can get enough of. The best we could get is this enormous cameo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I reckon so too.
My hopes for this show is that Wilson Fisk stays the mayor.
Yeah.
I want him to stay mayor of New York for a while.
Yeah.
Because it'll be nice, as some something fun that's completely detached from reality, to have a criminal as the mayor of New York,
Oh, yeah. Just
that'd be...
Yeah.
This is fictional for a reason. We got to have some...
The funny thing is, there are
life.
multiple people that you could be talking about right now. Okay. Look, the thing about Marvel is that the connectivity is fun and it doesn't have to actually make any sense, and you should never think about it too hard. But like the fact that Spider-Man is swinging around and like J. Jonah Jameson and the Daily Planet are here, and not the fucking whatever he's running.
Bugle?
Yeah, the Weekly Bugle, the Blue Bugle. And also this universe, I don't know. Like they don't feel like the same New York at all, but that's fine. Because telling a good story is maybe more important than all of them being in a nothing void.
The Blue Bugle is the Daily Bugle's biggest competitor.
Yeah.
They're like the Fox News to CNN because they only do stuff that makes you depressed and sad.
The Blue Bugle. The nickname.
It'll be interesting to hear to Jameson.
Well,
that could be something.
Yeah,
we get
that was my last thought of like, what if this?
Yeah.
What if this?
I don't know.
Yeah. I keep thinking, I was like, what about all the New York podcasters? But then I'm like, they're from the Spider-Man games.
They are.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to get Mary Jane's podcast. That was the low-hanging fruit. I can't remember the name of the other ones.
Me neither.
I think that well, we're getting some fantastical stuff because White Tiger has an amulet
Oh,
that
yeah.
gives the White Tiger powers. Don't know what they are. And we haven't really had too much fantastical things in Daredevil, I guess, before the Defenders happened and like, oh, surprise, there's a dragon underneath New York or whatever happened in that show. I never finished Defenders.
Really?
I watched half of it.
I never finished Punisher, actually.
I don't think I ever actually watched Punisher.
I remember watching the first episode, and like I know the Netflix shows were dark, like in terms of violence and themes, but that character is so dark, and I think made perfect sense in Daredevil, and was a really valuable like counterpoint. But in his own show, I just remember being like, "This is so bleak."
Yeah, yeah. How do you feel about getting a Punisher Marvel special presentation?
Is that happening?
That's happening.
Yeah, cool. Bring the special presentations back.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think they're the place where weird innovation happened. Well,
I'd love to
just
get a
that
good
one that happened, and then there was a kind of lame one from James Gunn. So, it was fine. But you know, bring them back.
They're also filming Daredevil season 2. Like that's
Born
that's
Again
going.
season 2.
Yeah, Born Again. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, they obviously have faith in it, so that's good.
Yeah. Anyways, I think this is a pretty good show.
Great.
I'm excited for more to come out. They come out every Wednesday, one a week.
Love that. There's so much TV happening in the next month than a month or two. It's overwhelming. Yeah. We're going to be avalanched.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Some other honorable mentions. I started watching Severance.
Yep. Very good.
Now I don't have Apple TV, so I've stopped watching Severance.
You got severed.
Yeah. Another honorable mention.
Yep.
I've been watching Upper Middle Bogan.
Oh, yes.
That's a great one. Great show from Australia.
Yeah.
About just people living in Melbourne, all the sorts of wealth tiers.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, just two wealth tiers.
just upper middle and Bogan.
But
Bogan is cultural. Upper middle is class. So those two are independent of each other, I feel.
Yeah.
Like
But I really love that show a lot.
For example, there are some people that I know, not well, but like that friends or whoever work for that are like wealthy Bogan, like upper Bogan, you know?
Yeah, right, okay, yeah.
Like they'll come home from their real estate job having made $1 million that day and be like, yeah, man, how you going? You know?
Okay.
You know?
Are they just making fun of Bogans? Is that
no,
what they do?
No, they're just doing it. They're doing it. I agree.
Okay.
Yeah, look, there's a relationship between culture and class, obviously, but you can have you can have people who are quite class mobile but hold on to the culture of their childhood or whatever.
Which, like, good.
Good. Oh, yeah, no, yeah, good. Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
You don't speak proper English, so you're not allowed to make more than $50K a year. That's crazy.
That's insane.
Excellent. So should people watch this? Okay, hang on. More interesting question. People who haven't watched any Daredevil, where do you start? Yeah. Start here?
I mean, I was a little confused because I was like, what does every character know? I forgot that.
About Daredevil.
Yeah, like, what's the secret identity? Blah, blah, just where we left off. But it actually doesn't really
I think
matter.
everyone knows.
This is a new season.
Yeah. Okay, great. So start here, you think?
Start here. New show is
New
what
show.
I meant. It's a new show. Just watch it.
Okay.
Or
Excellent.
I recommend watching the original Daredevil.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really good.
A bit long, though, sometimes.
Yeah, but you can watch this without it, and it's definitely more approachable, and it will be shorter, and it might not be good because we haven't gotten to the midpoint where they tend to drop off, but
there you go.
It might be about something. Crazy stuff.
Crazy stuff. Imagine having a theme.